all of you here today. Very, very happy new year. That's true. Last Wednesday I was flying back and I thought at some point I'll somewhere say manage, but nahi hua. So sorry about missing last week, but so what? Today we will compensate in every possible way. Sav Bara to every single one of you. If you haven't bought your tickets for change makers, I really hope that this morning the slot had opened for 2 hours. Whenever next is opening, please make sure you buy your ticket for change makers. I want to meet you and see you in person. It's going to be one of those opportunities. It's happening on Feb 24th. To know all of the other details, either go on the Success Gyan page or in my stories and you will get to know everything. Okay, Meri Jan? For all of you who've been coming and who love this kind of self-development work, I can tell you there will be sentences that will be spoken on the Feb 24th that are going to change the trajectory of your life forever. You know, the tickets are for 5,000, 7,000, depending on VIP. If you're picking up, it's for 35,000. I mean, this is going to be life-changing. I wish I could literally come to your house, pick you up and bring you for the events, because when I would want to attend events like this, I had to fly 24, 36 hours to America to attend these things. Now they're all happening in India. So what are you waiting for? I want every single one of you to just ensure that you get a ticket for change makers, and I want to see you there. Tell me when you see me there that, you know, Pooja, I was the one who picked up because of your Insta Live. Okay, come back and tell me that. Love it, love it, love it. Absolutely. All right, let's see who all are here. Shubha, hi, Sneha, Hasneet, Mystical Mina's beautiful dress. Oh, thank you. It's from a shop in Chennai. For all of you who are asking, it's from a shop in Chennai. I actually have a pink version and a white version. Today I've worn the white version. Next week I'll wear the pink version. Happy evening and Happy New Year. Dr. Shalini, has enlightenment been postponed to March? No, Shalini, it was always in March, but the orientation is in February end. So February end will be 1 hour session where I will orient all of you to enlightenment, and then in the second week is when it will always start. That was always the plan. I don't know what was communicated to you. Renu Jacob, mine is a love marriage. It's been 7 years after marriage, but I feel so disappointed that he isn't the same. Not that he's bad, but he isn't a family person. How to keep up? Renu, you know, my opinion in a marriage is that we all get certain set of cards dealt to us. Okay, somebody gets a family man, somebody gets a romantic man, somebody gets a very giving man, somebody gets a very conjuice man, somebody gets a man who loves you in a way that you don't want to be loved, and somebody gets a man who's not loving at all, right? So every single one of us is getting cards dealt. And the way our mind works, it focuses on what we don't have. It's called the missing tile syndrome, which is if there are 100 tiles on your roof and one is missing, guess where your eyes is going to go? To the missing tile, right? So I feel like a lot of us spend too many years feeling like that one thing, if I had, no, it would have been perfect. Like you're saying, he isn't bad, but he's not a family person. Mine would be, he isn't bad, but he's not romantic. He isn't bad, but he's not, you know, giving or caring or concerned or intelligent or smart or good in his business or, you know, not great with the children or not great with the staff or too workaholic or doesn't work at all, you know. So the thing is that I think we have to outgrow. I feel like if I had a training to be done for married women, the first thing I would tell them is first make a list of all that is missing and make a promise to yourself for 1 year you will not speak about what is missing. You're going to go on only speaking about what is actually there. And can I tell you, when we focus on what is actually there, something shifts between the man and the woman, which is the fact that he now feels he can keep you happy. So when we keep on speaking about what is missing, no matter how hard he tries, he gives up on us because at some point he feels मैं कुछ भी कर लूँ ये कभी खुश नहीं होने वाली. Okay? When you start to become a woman who is happy with the man because your eyes are there to appreciate all he does and not your eyes are not created for what all he's not doing, then what happens is the man starts to blossom he feels good about who he is when he's with you. And can I tell you, one of the most powerful things God has given women is that we can make men feel like God, and then they become that because of how we presented them in our eyes. They look at themselves through our eyes and try to become that. Now, if you are someone who is complaining a lot about your man, guess who he's going to become? The exact person you've been describing. So why not describe a better person? Okay, now this doesn't apply to bad men, narcissist men, men who are just really horrible. This doesn't apply to those people, but it applies to 70% of the marriages. So I'm going to ask all of you in 2024, make a list of 3 things you completely dislike about your man and take a vow that no matter what, I can't speak about these 3 things. Yeah? All right. Uma saying, Puja ma'am, your voice is changing. Please check. Oh God, how do I check that? Tell me someone in the chat box, how can I check the voice changing, okay? Not now, but last time it happened. I'm so sorry, I'm not brilliant with technology and I keep trying to manage, but I hope today it's good. Yeah, voice is fine? Okay, perfect. I like that. Milan is saying voice is in transition, but what she's saying, I'm more focused on that. I like that attitude. Being a man, I agree with your thoughts, and that's why I like to hear your thoughts. Thank you, Raj. Oh, thank you, everyone. Okay, so voice is not the biggest problem. It is a problem, but it's not the biggest problem. I'm going to send my iPad for a little bit of a servicing very soon so that I get the voice right also. Okay, I'll make a point of this feedback. Don't worry, I won't ignore it. Yeah. All right. Super. Let's look at some more questions. I hope that helps you. Try it out. It really works like magic sometimes. Yeah. Nice. And for all of you who've registered, please put registered in the chat box so that I can acknowledge you. And if you haven't registered, I highly recommend register. If the sales have already closed, just go and register on my link. Just put your name there. Yeah? Love it. Tanvi Kakati, how did you start gratitude and why and how it affects your life? Why is it important and how to do it? Wow. Tanvi, that's like telling me to take a 1-hour session. If you know, gratitude is one of the closest topics to my heart. It's the one thing I say that changed my whole life. Why do I believe that it affects you or is important or why you should do it is because our mind is in tune to pick up the negative to protect us. Okay, so imagine a time when we used to live in the caves and there was a tiger outside, and if you didn't notice the tiger, what will happen? You will end up going outside and get eaten up. And so for survival to happen in this world, the way our brain was made was that whether we focus on the good or not, the bad will always go deeper within us, which is why bad news or sad news sell, scandal sell, gossip is interesting. We want to know the negative stuff of the world because our body gravitates or our mind gravitates towards that kind of information because it actually protects us from the world, right? Now, those people who are able to create a default setting, another setting which you put on default eventually, which is that instead of focusing on the negative, I'm going to train my brain to attract positive. And what you do is every single day you write gratitude, you write gratitude. I just went for a sketch notes masterclass the other day. So I just wrote my gratitude for yesterday and I started to even do drawings, if you can see. This was from day before, if you can see. Fabulous. So, I can't emphasize enough how important gratitude is. It is like we have this pipe, negative pipe in our brain in which all of the information gets collected. And whenever something negative happens, you tend to go back to all that has happened in that pipe. So a lot of times in your fight, you will see your husband saying something like, wow, look at your memory. You remember in 2006 what I said to you and what I was wearing, and in 2008 how I left you on your birthday, and in 2011 how I went off on our anniversary for a boys trip, and in 2015 how I didn't give you a card along with the flowers. And he's like, how do you have all of this memory? But the thing with women especially is that we hold on. Instead of releasing our negativity, we hold on. And so we attract more of what we vibrate at. If our energy is negative, guess what we are going to create more of? Negative situations in our life. When you start to do gratitude every day, every day, every day, every day, maybe in the first 1 month, not much will happen, but you start to enter what I call the miracle zone. And the minute you enter the miracle zone, now you're vibrating at a very different energy. It's almost 600 on the scale. And when you start to vibrate at that energy, all the miracles in your life start to happen. Literally, you can think it and it will show up. I've had crazy episodes of miracle, which even when I narrate, I feel like, you know what, most people are going to think of them as coincidences. So I don't even know if it's worth narrating to someone, because they won't even be able to accept that, you know what, miracles like this happen to people who are in gratitude on a daily basis. So that's why I feel like it is so important that we shift that mindset from negative things. Like Mahatria, one of my teachers, he speaks so beautifully on negative things go deep, positive things remain shallow. When you start to do gratitude, the reverse happens. It's like if you go to a party and someone in the party says, oh wow, you're looking so good today. And another person says, wow, you're looking so good today. And third person says, wow, you're looking so good today. And you meet this fourth person who says, बालों को क्या किया है? ये क्या ग्रे दिख रहा है? या ये ना ये ऐसे फ्रिंज क्यों रखी हुई है? And suddenly your face goes from feeling so happy that you were looking so nice to, yaar kya hua hai mere balon ko, kya hua hai? And the whole evening, that's what you're thinking. You got so many compliments, your mind is not stuck there. Where is your mind stuck? And why does this happen to us? Negativity goes deep, positivity remains shallow. So one of the things he says is, every time you have something good to say, describe it in 5 sentences. Every time you have something bad to say it in 1 sentence. So avoid giving other people a headache with your headache. If you're having a headache and you keep describing it, when we are fine, what do we say? How are you? I'm fine. The days you're having a bad day, you describe the whole bad day. The days you're having a good day, you don't describe it, kyunki nazar lag jayegi. Got it? So we tend to, the society itself allows us to speak a lot more negative. If you want to complain about your man, you will have 100 friends to go to complain to. You want to praise your man, after a while, everybody feels like, ho gaya yaar, theek hai, good for you, you got such a lovely person. So praising is not allowed to the extent that criticism is. Once we understand that our entire society is built on negativity, then we have to choose to be not in the 90% but in the 10%. And to belong to that 10%, one of the most beautiful things to do is gratitude. Every day start doing gratitude, your meter will change, okay? The meter of depth of positivity will go deep and negativity will start to become shallow. Then those 3 compliments will go deep, and if somebody said something about your hair, you won't even care. Hey, somebody says something about your hair, you won't even care, right? So that's why it is so important to do gratitude. It literally has changed my life. It has changed the life of my students, my tribe, my community, my big sisters, my sister goddesses, my team. So I can tell you, this is one of those things that I can't emphasize enough on. And yes, I want you to write it. A lot of people say, can I say it verbally? No, because what will happen is the days you are in gratitude, you'll say it verbally. The days you're not in gratitude, you won't say it because you did not create a practice around it. And I want it to be a daily practice, no matter what your mood. It has to go beyond your mood. It has to go beyond your desire to do it. It's actually on your sad days that I want gratitude to happen the most. For example, the day I have an argument or a conflict with Puneet, those are the days I write 50 gratitudes about him. What am I grateful for? Those are the days from inside I am, you know what I mean? And then when I sit and write that gratitude, within 5 minutes, I'm able to fix what used to take me 6 hours to recover. I was the queen of Cold War. No longer. Nobody has the power to put me in a bad mood unless I choose to be in one. And I want each one of you to be able to say this sentence by the end of this year. And if you do gratitude every day, literally you will be able to say this sentence. Nobody has the power to put me in a bad mood unless I choose to be in one. There are days when I will be honest, I choose to be in a bad mood. I think I just want to cry. Maybe I'm PMSing. Maybe I'm going through something. Sometimes the world is going through a negative energy and it passes through me. And I know that this is not my energy, but I just need to let it pass. Otherwise, I will land up reacting or bleeding on people who didn't cut me. Got it? So I hope I've been able to convince you. Put in the chat box convinced if you're going to be doing gratitude every single day for the next 30 days. You do it for 30, it'll already automatically you'll get addicted to it. There's a dopamine hit that gratitude has. Just you make sure you do it for 30 days. After that, gratitude will make sure that it lives in your life. Awesome. Niharika, how to deal with toxic and biased authority while you also need the job? Niharika, the answer I'm going to give you may not be your favorite or the most convenient one, but you know what? Honestly, there are few relationships we can't choose. We can't choose our parents, we can't choose our siblings. Once you are married, you can't choose who your spouse will be. What we can choose is a job, and we spend over 8 hours in a job every day. If your job environment is toxic, if your job environment or your authorities or your bosses are not the right people, guess what? On a daily basis, you're going to get damaged, and that is not good for you. So one of the things that you have power over is the fact that you can look for another job. Okay, and what I've seen is, if I keep saying I want to keep new staff, I want to keep new staff in my house, but I don't check out the one who's being useless, the new staff I'm not able to attract. And sometimes I've seen that when I make up my mind, I send a message to my driver, to the staff, to the colony people, to all my friends, guys, badly need a cook. From somewhere the universe sends it to me. It's my, it's the day I'm willing to work on it. Up until that, it is just a wish. When I turn it into execution is when I'm able to get it. So I want you to know one thing, Niharika. Every single day in that office, you are being damaged at a level you have no idea. So instead of giving you a solution around how to handle the toxic, now if you had told me my parents are toxic or somebody in my family is toxic, I will definitely help you to deal with them. Okay, there are many different ways to deal with them. But because you said it's a job, and because you're saying I need the job, I'm going to request you to re-examine and start to look for a job. 2024 should be the year you're changing your job. And you know what? When you are in a good job and you have a good boss and a supporting boss, who you become in the process is mind-blowing. Who you become at work and who you become at home is mind-blowing. You think after a toxic job like that, you can come home to be clean and nice to your family? You're going to be completely drained, juiced. Yesterday I was telling someone, वो जो नींबू को squeeze करते हैं ना, जिस कंपनी में हमें juice करते हैं ना, वहाँ पे फिर कड़वाहट आ जाती है. Bitterness will come out. If you squeeze the नींबू lemon too much, you're going to be bitter. And I don't want you to be a bitter person, and not at the start of your career or at whichever level you're at. I'm sorry, I don't know, but whichever level you're at, I don't want you to be in this job. Start looking for another one. Set your aim. In the next 90 days, I'm moving from this toxic environment. I deserve better. If you are a hardworking, amazing, smart woman, you know what? There are people who are waiting for you, looking out for you. We are all looking for good people in our house, in our offices, in our team. We are all looking for. Become that good person that so many people should want you, but there's only one Niharika. Yeah? Kaushalya, how to overcome poor mindset on abundance. Kaushalya, if you haven't joined my awakening program, it's starting on the 11th, which is tomorrow morning. Please send a message to Gunjan in the chat box today and gift yourself this beautiful program, which will take you through 21 days of a new abundance mindset. I am not joking. I have over 500 testimonials of people and women, especially receiving money in ways that they had never imagined, amounts that they had never imagined, and I reset your entire abundance portal for you to start to receive money easily and effortlessly. Okay, it's a 2-month process. 1 month you go with me journey in awakening to first self-discover yourself, and then 21 more days for me to really open up that portal of yours, which could be shut down because of any reason. Maybe because of the kind of attitude your parents have towards money, or of the scarcity that you may have gone through, or the conjuice people in your environment, or generally you yourself not having a great relationship, or a lot of myths like, money is not important, money is evil, money doesn't grow on trees, money makes you greedy, money makes you a bad person. All of those could be sitting in your head. I don't know what it is. What I know is those 21 days, I will literally clean out your entire abundance portal, and you just watch. You wait and watch for the miracles that will start to happen in your life. So anyone here who's really interested in getting their abundance portal opened up, a reset, all I'd like you to do is send a message to Gunjan below and join tomorrow morning session. It is going to start at 9:30 to 12:30. Okay, so 9:30 to 12:30 tomorrow morning. Aja Meri Jaan, let me help you get your 2024 clean and ready. Yeah? Swapna, Puja, what should one do if mentors and students' opinion is not a match and it conflicts between both? So Swapna, one of the most important things to do is check who you're choosing to have as a mentor. Okay? Because one of the things you have to start to learn to do is do a full check on, is this person a match? Where they are in their life, would I like to be? The path that they took, would I be interested in walking? So keep on checking, like Matre says so beautifully, doubt till you trust, and once you trust, don't doubt. Okay, so I feel like a lot of times what happens is that once we have a mentor, and if their energy is not a match, you need to find a new mentor, because mentor's basic requirement is complete deep faith and surrender. If you don't have that level of faith and surrender in your mentor, energy transference will not happen. Okay, so look for a mentor where you can blindly have that trust, that knowingness that this mentor will first want me to win even before they win. And when you have that as your thought process, when you have that kind of, may I call it a little bit of a blind trust, and take your time to trust. Don't trust everybody. Every second Guruji is not the right Guruji. Today we have too many scams and too many wrong people in the industry of all of this. So be careful, check fully before you give your trust, but it requires trust. Okay, it is one of the base pillars of a mentor-mentee relationship. Got it? So you need a new mentor, Swapna, go looking for one. Rather, I would suggest in every sphere you should have one. You should have a brilliant mentor in relationships, a brilliant mentor in health, a brilliant mentor in your business and career, a brilliant mentor in whichever area of your life you want to grow, because a mentor is a catalyst. They speeden up the process of success in that field to a level which is crazy. So what would take you normally 5 years, 3 years, 2 years can happen in 3 months with a mentor, because they've already walked the path, they already know the journey, and they can very quickly guide you. Yeah. Sonia Luthra, want to be a successful life coach, but how and where to start? Woohoo, Sonia. 3rd and 4th of February, I'm doing a 2 full day event called the Coaching Mastery Business Program. It is a program which teaches you how to become a life coach, what is expected out of you, how to position yourself, how to promote yourself, what processes, all of my processes that I have used the last 10 years on how to be a coach. I will show you how to, project yourself, how you want your clients to look at you, your base story, who your client should be, what your topic should be. If you're someone who's completely lost in this area, just give me these 48 hours with you and allow me to give you a complete roadmap on what and how you can become one of the most successful life coaches in India, or maybe even the world. Yeah. So see if you can join me on 3rd and 4th February. How do you do that? All you need to do is call up Gunjan in the link below. We are going to share it when I post this video on my page. I'm going to share Gunjan's number below, and please give her a call and ensure that you're in touch with her for coaching mastery if you want to become a coach, and for awakening if you want to work on yourself. Woohoo! We have Preeti Kaur who's registered for Changemakers, Savita who's registered for Changemakers, Divine Magic who's registered for Changemakers. Loving it, absolutely. Sunni, Richa Bhagat, for all of you who are registered for Changemakers, and if you've used my link, and I don't know if you have or if you haven't, you're going to get a free one-day event with me on the 7th of March, okay? So just ensure that you go and put your name in my link. Whether you've paid or not paid, doesn't matter. Just register through my link so that I can offer you the 7th March once you've attended the February 24th. So that we can spend the whole day together. I have something very, very special planned in my mind. It is going to be mind-blowing. It's going to be on Zoom, one full day. What I'm going to do with you, I will tell you when we closer to date to 24th. Okay, it's a secret, but it's a huge bonus, a bonus that you can only get if you register through my link. So see if you can do that. Yeah. What do you need to do? All you need to do is go in my story and put your name in the registration. Lovely. Anila Sethia, what is the definition of toxic people? Some of you are asking, who is a narcissist? When someone makes you feel wrong in your personality, I find those people the most toxic or narcissistic. Okay, so I don't know what the psychiatrist or the psychologist definition of a narcissist is, but you're just never right. With these people, they are the ones who are always right. It doesn't matter what the situation, they know how to turn it around and make you feel wrong. Okay, you will start to doubt yourself, and every single day when you're with these people, your self-esteem will start to get crushed. There will be days when you will start to question your own sanity and wonder, am I mad or is he mad, or how is he able to turn everything around in this manner? Okay, so to me, a definition of a toxic person or a narcissistic person is someone who will never apologize, who will never accept that they were wrong, and who will always turn it around and make you feel like you are the wrong one, no matter what the situation is. So there is no equality there. They always come from the top. They always know better, even when they are at fault. The base fault will be made to be yours. Let's say a man is having an affair, and he will make you feel like, but if only you had lost the weight, or if only you had given me space, or if only you had cared for me, or if only you were being intimate with me, I wouldn't have gone to that other woman. Not accepting even for a minute that it is them who's doing the wrong. They will turn it all around and make you feel so, sorry for my words, but shit about yourself, that you will start to doubt who you are, or you will start to question your sanity. So these are toxic, or people who twist everything, and no matter how hard you try to logically speak with them, no matter how many facts you present to them, they still do not agree ever to any of what they have done. And that's a person you want to stay away from, right? Alright, Shweta is saying, my husband scolds me very badly and doesn't care for me. I focus on self, but sometimes I cry so much. How to deal? You know what, Shweta? I feel like a lot of us right now are in marriages where we are not getting what we really or truly desire. So one of the things very important is to at some point make up your mind to, like you're saying, I focus a lot on myself, but I cry a lot. I want you to start to focus so much on yourself that your crying needs to stop. Okay, what that means is you hit rock bottom and you lose that hope or that expectation. And when the day you lose that hope and that expectation, you know what happens? There's a quiet determination that comes into your personality that what other people think of me, I don't care anymore. I'm going to make me happy. And then you go on a journey of finding your self-happiness. People ask me all the time, Puja, how come you are, you do what you do? And I can tell you, back in 2005, 2006, I had gotten completely lost in my life. I was not able to please the people around me in this house. I was not happy from within. And I felt like my life had gotten so badly stuck that if I wouldn't wake up the next day, it wouldn't matter to anybody, including me. And so I knew that, I've hit rock bottom. I've reached a point in my life where I need to re-examine everything that I've done and start to live life for me. And I remember making choices which would normally feel very selfish to me. I wouldn't make them, but I knew that if I didn't, I will not survive. And so choosing to go to America, choosing to go for all of these courses, choosing to sell some of my jewelry and afford all that I needed to afford. And by 2010, 2011, I had reached a place where I had refound myself, rediscovered. 2006 is also when I started to do gratitude every single day. I had started to listen to all of these courses and all of that. And I can tell you those 4-5 years of deep self-work changed everything for me. And all of those years I had spent crying every night on the pillow when everyone is asleep, and I hope no one can hear me while I'm crying and all of that. If you're doing the same, then we women know what we land up doing, that you don't want anyone to hear, but you need to release it. And every night you feel like, I don't even know what I'm doing with my life. I know I have the potential. I know I can be amazing, but I'm nowhere close to amazing. I'm rather in the opposite space of amazing. Once you find yourself, one of the most beautiful things that happen is you start to help others find themselves. And I noticed by 2008, 2009, so many people had started to call me on, Puja, I see you so happy. How have you become so happy? You were never like this. And people asking me, oh, I love how you're parenting. Oh, I love how the wife you are. I love how you run your house. Everything has started to change because everything is interconnected, right? And when we change our relationship with ourselves, our entire life starts to change. And that's the beauty, that we think that, I'm fixing just a part of my life. The real truth is, you fix you with you, everything gets fixed. Everybody who you think is behaving in a very odd manner, their behavior starts to change. I always say, as you raise yourself in vibration, the toxic people or the negative people of your life will not be able to stay. Either they will have to change their vibration to match yours, or they're going to leave and go off. Either they'll have a transfer, or it could be good or bad, but they won't be able to stay in your energy. Something will happen and your relationship with them will get super diluted, because God will physically pick them up and put them in another city or do something so unique that you'll be like, yaar, ये तो मेरे घर में रहते थे, ये कैसे अब चले गए? मतलब the one person I didn't want in my house, how is that person left the house and gone off? Miracles start to happen when we start to work on ourselves and raise our vibration. So Shweta, while right now it may feel like a very bleak future, you yourself are going to be able to really make 2024 gorgeous the minute you make up your mind that I no longer want to be dependent emotionally on this man. And all of us at some point in our marriages should make this resolve that, first, let me be happy, complete in my own self, and then complete this relationship. A lot of us are going into a relationship to find our happiness. Big mistake. If your happiness is dependent on your man, you can be rest assured it's like, what do you call that? It's like literally giving your heart to someone else who doesn't really much care for it. And then you're wondering, oh my God, I've given the best years, the best version of myself to this person, and the more you're giving, the more he's mistreating you. So it is so important that at some point, I remember there was a time in my life where if I told Puneet I'm going to leave, he used to laugh because he knew Jayegi ka. Today he says, Puja, if that would be true for you today, you can leave in a jiffy, right? So as we grow in our personality, as we grow in the person we are, I really feel like the other person also treats us to the same level of respect that we have for ourselves. And a lot of us women don't have enough respect for ourselves, therefore we don't know how to command respect from others. So do something in your life that's respect worthy, whether it is exercising or waking up at a certain time or creating beautiful habits or being disciplined is one of the most beautiful ways to increase your self-love, because it tells you that you learn to self-prioritize, and self-prioritizing is the easiest way to gain respect for yourself. And the day you respect yourself enough, guess what? The whole world starts to give you respect. I really hope this helps you, Shweta. I know I went a little long, but I guess this is such a relevant topic for everyone today. Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How to do gratitude while you're not really feeling well emotionally. That's exactly when you have to do gratitude. Sit and think. Okay, can you be grateful for sunrise? Can you be grateful for the oxygen that you're breathing? Can you be grateful for having a fan, a bed, a pillow? Can you be grateful for, you know what, we think we need these big things to be grateful for. No. It's the small things. If I read out to you my gratitude, I'm grateful to God for, this is yesterday, for doing my 7K steps. I didn't even do 10K, by the way. I did 7K. Okay? For Puneet calling me up from the car and just expressing his very sweet love. For speaking to my son for an hour, the younger one. You know, it was snowing in London and he was showing me the snow through the balcony and all of that. Owning so much makeup. Look at me. That's what I've written in my gratitude. Owning so much makeup. Are these big things? You're thinking I'm going to write about, whoa. But this anybody can write, no? So I want you to know that it is so, we think we have to do gratitude for the big things in our life. The real truth is all of the goodness of our life lies in the details, lies in those very small things. I want you to start to notice the small things. A hot cup of tea on a cold afternoon. Oh my God, what deep gratitude you can feel for it. It's not even funny. Yeah. Okay, let me go right to the bottom and see what are the latest questions. Can I repeat awakening and how? Happier women, I would love for you to speak to Gunjan on how you can repeat awakening. For anyone who would like to repeat awakening, just send a message to Gunjan saying would like to repeat, and I will speak to her today evening on how we can make that possible for you. Yeah. Jinal Patel is asking how to deal with a sister-in-law's interference. Jinal, one of the things that I have learned in my life is the more you focus on, and I don't know how this is your sister-in-law, whether it is your brother's wife or your husband's wife. I'm just going to take the example of a husband's wife, and then if it's a brother's wife, you just make the connection, okay? So, let's say this is your husband's wife. Husband's sister, sorry, not husband's wife, husband's sister. Then I'm just going to say this, that you know what, the more we focus on their interference, the more we are bringing that into existence. So what we need to do is start to realize the power we have with our own spouse. You want to love him more than you hate her. And so when all the time we keep talking about the person who's troubling us to the person we love most, we bring in negativity in the relationship that matters most. So see if you can start to ignore her a little bit. And I know this is going to be very hard in the beginning because right now she's topmost on your mind, in your shower, in your life. Generally, you're just finding her so annoying and everything that she's doing is annoying you right now. So to reduce her importance in your body is not going to be easy, but that's exactly what you need to do. You know, I definitely believe that the more we criticize our husband's family to our husband, the more we land up separating ourselves from them. Okay, these are all their blood relatives. They can never be separated. The only person who gets into separation is the wife. But the wife is the one who shares the bedroom, who has him the most number of time, right? You are the strongest. You are the only relationship that law needs to come and break if it has to be broken. So you have to understand you are the queen. And you're giving importance to not the queen. So when the queen starts to give too much importance, she has to be reminded she is the queen. And how does she stay queen when she and her husband together start to make decisions where you will initially in the beginning have to support him and ask him, look, I find your sister very interfering. How can I deal with her? Now, one thing I'll tell you about men, they love giving solutions. So go to them with problems and literally follow his solution, accept it and make him feel like king for some time. So you will feel like, what? The sister-in-law is saying, I also want to come to the picnic with you all. Now you don't want her on the picnic and your husband is saying, aane dena usko. And you're like, dono pagal hai. Right? बट इंस्टेड यू गो, अच्छा मैं आने देती हूँ बट वो हमारी गाड़ी में नहीं जाएगी, हम ऐसा कुछ कर सकते हैं क्या कि सो दैट यू ऑल्सो ही ऑल्सो अंडरस्टैंड, अच्छा ठीक है गाड़ी में भी जाएगी तो ठीक है, और वट एवर यू आर हैविंग दिस कॉन्वर्सेशन वेयर यू आर मेकिंग इट ईजियर फॉर योर मैन टू टेक हर along so that he is not put in a tight spot, and that's what you're telling him, that you know what, I don't want you to be in a tight spot. I remember at one point telling my man that whoever asks you anything, you say yes, you come back, हम तो सेम है ना, हम डील कर लेंगे जो भी है. आपको अजीब भी लगता है उनको हमारे साथ ये करना है, उनको मेरी कोई ड्रेस चाहिए, उनको आप हाँ बोल के आ जाओ, बिकॉज हम तो सेम है. What did I do? I worked on the fact that, you know what, we are one. That's the feeling I give him. Not that he's always going to be pitched against me versus whoever it is that he loves. Now he loves them also, he loves me also. When I put him in the spot, what is he going to do? Start to balance. Some days I'll win, some days they'll win, but you know what, actually no one is winning in that whole situation. I want you to change the way you are approaching this whole subject. Okay, and see if you can start to, what I have seen in my life is that when, especially if you have a good man, when you start to sacrifice for his family, he starts to compensate extra to you. I'll repeat that sentence. When you sacrifice for his family, he will compensate extra to you. Okay, so see if you can use this information to your advantage. Make it easier for him to deal with his family, and let him compensate to you on things that he can compensate on. Yeah? Because you know, the one thing is not going to change is your sister-in-law. And what are you going to do? You're going to keep waiting to change her. And the more you wait to change her, who's becoming negative? Who's drinking the poison and waiting for the other to die? You yourself. So I really hope, Jinal, that some information out of this you take and you make it yours and you become the queen back in your husband's life. Okay? God bless you, darling. Disha, any tips for 40 and how to be joyful? Firstly, I don't know the connection, Disha. Any tips for 40 and how to be joyful? You know, the older we grow, I feel like the lesser drama we want in our life, the lesser people we want in our life. There's a part of us that outgrows what other people think. There's a part of us that starts to not care too much about all the things that mattered at 20 and 30. So I feel like it's actually quite easy to be joyful at 40 if we know how to. So spending time doing gratitude, finding a mission bigger than yourself is one of the things I always feel that has kept me happy. What this year am I going to focus on so that I don't focus on the kachra of my life? So what's going to take my focus? So if you have a mission, a North Star, something that you want to achieve or do, and that you get obsessed with, then guess what? All of the rubbish of your life gets left behind. So the easiest way to be happy is to elevate yourself to a mission or to align yourself to something greater than yourself, so that you do not keep focusing on the random people who are coming and creating drama in your life. Okay? Where is the link to register for Changemakers? It's in my story. All you need to do is go on my story or the post before this also, or the link is also in the bio. So please make sure that you sign up for Changemakers if you haven't done so. It will be life-changing. I'm not joking. Okay? Super. And if you want to join Awakening or Coaching Mastery, then Gunjan's number is going to be below 789881442. No, I have forgotten it. So I'm going to put it in the comment box below. All you need to do is give her a call or send her a message, want to join Coaching Mastery or want to join Awakening, and she will send you the link. Okay, let's go right to the bottom to see what's happening there. Lakshmi Balaji, how to be calm and composed when the teenage son is making a lot of tantrum. So Lakshmi, you know what? We have two places that a parent can operate from. One is a place of love and one is a place of fear. When we get into our fear zone, we start to feel like it's our job to correct them, to fix them. Otherwise, they will become like this only. And then how will they operate in life if they are like this? And that's when we go into fear and we start to fix or tweak our children. Now, another way to do it is to stay in your calm energy of knowingness that this is a phase that will pass and that I just have to remain loving, caring, and all that I am. And once it passes, that's when I will speak to him, because I don't want to speak to him in this energy. So I'm going to allow him to do whatever he thinks he's doing to grab my attention, and let him know that, you know what, if you really want my attention, you're going to have to become smarter than this. So I'm going to wait it out patiently. And of course, it's going to take everything you've got, because you will feel the need to match his energy. Anytime someone's angry with us or someone is throwing a tantrum, one of the ways we think we can communicate with them is if we match their energy. If somebody is shouting, we start to shout back. When somebody is misbehaving, we start to misbehave louder than what they are misbehaving to control that misbehavior. But actually what you've asked in such a beautiful manner, which is, how do I stay calm and composed? By exactly doing that, being calm and composed. One of the things I love doing is becoming the observer of my life rather than the experiencer of my life. And let me explain that to you. Human beings are the only creatures who have the ability to observe what we are doing. Like currently, there's a part of me that's talking to you, and there's a part of me that can see myself talking to you. And I can judge myself by going, oh, Puja, today your hair is looking a little oily, or your teacup has a little bit some kachra inside it, or, you know, your nails have become too long, you need to go and get them chopped, or whatever, right? So there's an observer that is sitting there. The same way, when you and your son are having any kind of conflict, I want you to sit in your observer body and say, you know, what would make me proud of how I want to behave today? So instead of being only the experiencer, that's when we lose ourselves. The more we can sit in our observer body and say, okay, this person is shouting, and I can choose to shout back, or I can even choose to smile back, because I don't want to give my remote control of my life in the hands of this teenager boy who barely can manage his life. Why should I show him? Let me be an example to him on what a person with emotional maturity looks like. Maybe he doesn't know that enough, so he's thinking all of this will get him results. Let him see me and know that if next time he wants to speak to me, he's going to have to show a lot more emotional maturity. Or if I do this long enough, he will start to learn and understand that there are better ways to communicate with one another than the scene that he's creating. Right? And so I do feel like a lot of times, especially as parents, instead of coming from a place of authority, start to see if you can come from a place of being an observer of your own behavior. And the most beautiful gift you can give to yourself is not how the other person is behaving, but how you responded to them. I mean, I've had days where I've come into the room and gone, Puja, so proud of you today. You could have easily let loose, but you kept your cool, and look, you turned out to be the winner. And I have won so many battles just because of the emotional maturity of sitting in my... I will go a step more and I will imagine myself as a Mother Teresa ka roop. And I'll say, what will Mother Teresa do in this traumatic situation? She'll just sit there, smile and send love. She'll say, God bless you. Maybe your soul suffered in the previous birth. Maybe in this birth you need a lot more healing. Let me send him healing energy. All he needs is love and healing. So all the while I'll be receiving kachra, I will be giving back blessings. And you know what? It feels so good when you do not lose. Like Michelle Obama says this so beautifully. When people go low, I go high. And I love that sentence, because you know what? It's such a great opportunity to know whether you are evolving at the rate you've been choosing to. I call these situations the exams of life. We think we are evolving by coming for Insta lives like this, or reading books, or going for courses. But how do you really know you've evolved or not? You only know you've evolved or not when you are given tests like this. True or not? So Lakshmi, I don't know how much of this is going to help you, sweetheart, but I really hope you use some of it and get yourself to really be in a situation where you feel proud of who you are as a mother, and wait to know this, that you know what, your child will outgrow this phase. What I have seen, I have a 23-year-old and a 20-year-old, and I have seen if I have not given too much energy to the negative and stayed in the energy of appreciation, love, compassion and empathy, then eventually God allows for your children to blossom with those qualities. Because I had heard this very nice sentence that our children, it's not that they get hurt with what we say, the problem is they believe what we say. Okay? And so when we keep on saying to our children things like, you will fail if you behave like this, or you are a dumbo, or you're stupid, or how horrible, or this behavior is not acceptable, and you do this with other people, and we keep saying those kind of things, and somewhere deep down it goes and settles inside of them, and they start to believe that that's the worst we can do to our children, right? So it's so important that even when we see them in their worst, we don't put any of those sentences in them that will hurt or damage them, and rather we stay in the energy of knowing that if the roots of the tree, which is us, are pure, amazing, gorgeous, and the food is clean, then the branches of that tree cannot be too bad, or the fruits of that tree will never be bad. And we have to stay in that faith long enough for us to believe, and then eventually God will show you that your patience and your faith and your trust in yourself and your parenting will give you children that you will feel, we all go through the bad phases to arrive at the good phase. Okay, so God bless, and I'm sending lot of healing energy to your son, that whatever is making him angry or upset, may he heal from that very soon. Yeah. All right, we're at 4:55, and I would love to hear from all of you. What was your biggest achievement or your biggest joy from 2023? So today in the chat box, after I post this, I would love to hear from each one of you. One big gratitude for 2023. Anything that you are grateful for. Now that we've had today's session had the gratitude theme in it, why not answer this question? What was that one thing that you truly are feeling grateful for from 2023? Any goal that you achieved, any relationship that you were able to heal, anything personally that you were able to do that you are feeling super proud of? So I'd love to hear in the chat box the one thing that you're truly grateful for in 2023. Yeah, in the chat box in the next 5 minutes. Okay, Puja, please share the change makers link. It is in my story and on my page, and in link in bio, so you just need to go on my page, you will find it. Don't worry, sweetheart. Yeah, you may not be able to pay now because the link may have closed, but you will be able to pre-register for the next time when it opens. You will get your opportunity to make the payment. For joining my course, all you need to do is, take Gunjan's phone number and message her. Okay? All right. On that note, I'm going to run, but thank you so much for coming. What is Change Makers? Please go on the Success Gyan website or Insta page. Watch a few videos. You'll realize it is going to be a whole day of masters coming and speaking to you about profound things. Different topics will be covered, and there is a man called Dr. D. Martini. I don't know how many of you know him, but when he speaks, we listen. He is read 30,000 books, is one of the most brilliant human beings on this planet, lives on a ship called the world, travels the world, has a very progressive way of thinking, and has influenced a lot of how I think about money. Comes a lot from what Dr. D. Martini has taught us. And we do special small groups. Success Gyan especially organizes these small groups with him and all of that, and they have been mind-blowing for us. And this is, I think, the second time that he's coming back to India to speak, or the third time, I'm not 100% sure, but he is just marvelous. That 1 hour is going to change your life forever. So if you haven't bought your tickets for Change Makers, highly recommend it. It is going to be a day from where you will make notes, and you will reread those notes for the rest of the year, because it will be so profound. Okay, I want you to know this. Everybody is going to be preparing a very unique piece, topics that we have never spoken about earlier, ever before. We are going to be presenting there. So I think it's going to be simply mind-blowing. Yeah. All right. And is it online? No, it is in Mumbai at the Geo Convention Center on the 24th of February. Okay. At the Geo Convention Center on the 24th of February. All right, I will see you there. Take care. And for those of you who are joining Awakening, you need to message Gunjan today, because it starts tomorrow morning, 9:30. I will see you there. If you haven't joined Awakening, highly recommend it. God bless you all. Bye. Can we attend it online? Unfortunately not. You know, the physical, coming to a physical space and experiencing the energy of all the masters and the participants is a completely different feel. I promise you, if this was happening in America, I would be one of those people who would have flown to America for it. And for you all, it is just happening in Mumbai. Come on, ek flight to le sakte ho, meri jaan. All right, absolutely. Bye everyone. Thank you for coming. Don't forget to post your biggest takeaway so that I can share it in my stories. Love you all. Bye.